This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
So things just keep getting worse and worse for Donald Trump. Of all the weeks that have culminated into a bad time for Dingus, this is a week. You know what the video's about because you've read the title, you've maybe read the description. And you know that Donald Trump in the past has spoken very vociferously, very sternly, or as he would say, strongly, about people who take the Fifth Amendment, people who exercise their right under the Fifth Amendment of the United States Constitution against self-incrimination. I will remind you that taking the Fifth Amendment isn't done as a privilege or a right because you just don't feel like testifying that day, or if the things you say might embarrass you. You plead the Fifth Amendment to protect yourself against self-incrimination. And that's the only reason by which you are able to plead the Fifth. So the fact that Donald Trump pleaded the Fifth before Letitia James and her investigators today means that he is protecting himself from his crimes, from criminal behavior. But before I read a little bit from this LA Times article describing what's going on right now, let's revisit some of the remarks from Donald Trump's own burger-stained lips about how he feels regarding people taking the Fifth Amendment.
The mob takes the Fifth. If you're innocent, why are you taking the Fifth Amendment?
When you have your staff taking the Fifth Amendment, taking the Fifth so they're not prosecuted, when you have the man that set up the illegal server taking the Fifth, I think it's disgraceful.
Have you seen what's going on in front of Congress? Fifth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, Fifth Amendment. Horrible. Horrible.
The mob, the mafia, they take the Fifth. If you're innocent, you've got no reason to take the Fifth Amendment to assert that right under the Constitution. According to Donald Trump, not according to me. Although, I think there's some veracity to that statement. And then Donald Trump goes before a civil case, no less. It's not a criminal probe that Letitia James, the Attorney General of the state of New York, is running. And he pleads the Fifth because there's still, although some believe defunct, a parallel investigation that is criminal in nature by the Manhattan District Attorney, formerly Cyrus Vance Jr., now Alvin Bragg. I'm going to read from this LA Times article. Trump invokes Fifth Amendment under questioning in New York financial probe. Ex-President Donald Trump says he invoked the Fifth Amendment and wouldn't answer questions under oath in the long-running New York civil investigation into his business dealings. Trump arrived at New York Attorney General Letitia James' office Wednesday morning for his deposition, but sent out a statement more than an hour later, just minutes ago, in fact, saying he declined to answer the question under the rights and privileges afforded to every citizen under the Constitution of the United States. All of a sudden now Donald Trump gives a shit about the Constitution of these United States. The inciter of insurrection is now real concerned about constitutional rights and the rule of law. As vociferous, just use the word. As vociferous as Trump has been in defending himself in written statements and on the rally stage, legal experts say the same strategy could have backfired in a deposition setting because anything he says could potentially be used in a criminal investigation. While James' investigation is civil in nature, the Manhattan District Attorney is running a parallel criminal probe. Trump's appearance in New York came just days after FBI agents searched his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida as part of an unrelated federal probe into whether he took classified records when he left the White House. The hits just keep on coming, Donnie boy. Your criminality and your disrespect for the rule of law are catching up with you. Finally. He arrived at James's office just before 9 a.m. in a motorcade. As he left Trump Tower in New York for the short ride downtown, he waved to reporters assembled outside, but did not comment. The civil investigation involves allegations that Trump's company, the Trump Organization, misstated the value of prized assets such as golf courses and skyscrapers, misleading lenders and tax authorities. I have talked about this at length in subsequent videos, that this involved both bank fraud, probably wire fraud, maybe mail fraud, and it involves tax fraud. Because if you're saying that your properties are worth astronomical amounts when you want to use them as collateral to get loans, but then you say those same properties are worth very little when it comes to paying taxes on them, that's fraud. That's maybe fraud on both ends of it, but very certainly fraud on one or other. Quote, in New York City tonight, seeing racist New York State Attorney General tomorrow for a continuation of the greatest witch hunt in U.S. history, Trump wrote Tuesday on Truth Social, invoking his oft-repeated claims about James, who is black, and the investigation. So Donald Trump believes that he's being targeted because he's white, that it's a racist investigation because, you know, us white people in America and rich white people, I wouldn't know anything about being rich, but I know what it's like to be a white man in America. And I can imagine when you're a exceedingly wealthy white man, ex-president of the United States, things are probably pretty cushy, pretty easy. And as we've witnessed Donald Trump's disdain and disrespect for the rule of law and accountability, we know how he feels. We know how he's gotten along. It's not a racist investigation. Quote, and we'll finish with this, my great company and myself are being attacked from all sides, Trump added. Banana Republic! With an exclamation point. Banana Republic! Hey, listen. Any week that's a bad week for Donald Trump is a good week for me, and I believe for you. What do you think about this? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. And of course, you can email me a voice memo from your smartphone to idoubt@dollemore.com. Big week, good week. Big things are happening. There is progress in the quest for consequence for Donald Trump, and that is good news. Follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok @Dollemore. And if, and only if, I bring you value, if I do something for you that you appreciate, please consider supporting my work here. You can click the join button, become a channel member for $2 a month, or go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast and help support and produce my work there. Anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.